apologize coming on late in this manner, but every Wednesday we come to you with just some tips, sharing something that you probably don't know about experiential outdoor hospitality and things that really can help you in your pursuit of a grand success with your property. Hey, Charlie.
Hey,
I
Michelle.
was just explaining that somehow magically we're live, so it didn't work earlier. It's nice to have you here. So listen, today, one thing that you don't know about outdoor hospitality, and the thing is, like a lot of people are talking about outdoor hospitality. It's a trending topic, right? Especially on LinkedIn. And you might think that you know everything you need to know about, I don't know, running a glamping resort or an RV resort or whatever the thing is. But as with any endeavor, what you don't know that you don't know, that's where the danger is lurking, right? It's like a blind spot that usually is the very thing that stands between you and whatever the necessary growth is that will allow you to get where you want to get. So I am here today with Charlie Boyne, and he is part of our Evolve Lodging team. It's so awesome that you jumped on with me spontaneously to
So
talk
awesome
about
that you
this.
invited me to. I love jumping on with you.
Yeah, it's fun. And now I have a pretty background with a cozy fire, and it's November, and this is the time of year when people really are starting to think about 2025. So my question to everyone out there is, what are you thinking about 2025? And that in conjunction with this idea of what do you not know about what you don't know? Like, where are those blind spots? Because those are the very areas that will also just create a huge differentiator for you in your business when you do know it. So let's talk about that a little bit. Like, what have you ever been in a situation, Charlie, in this space where you thought you knew something and then you found out the hard way that you, oops, didn't know that?
Yeah, I think at every turn, and I think that's the really fun part about hospitality in general is the
Yeah.
guest needs. There are the basic guest needs, sleeping space, bathroom, kitchen, the absolute basics, but there are so many unpredictables. And I remember being in Texas and thinking Texas was always warm, and it is not. And so if you build for a business that plans to always be warm and then it's ever not, yeah, you eat that. You can it can be catastrophic at times, especially if your marketing is that it will be warm. Um, so
You know,
I
you
think yeah,
told a story. Sorry to interject this. I was just thinking the story you told on a meeting on one of our meetings this morning. How you had a friend that you went to the Rocky Mountains and they weren't used to being in the mountains, and you're driving up this windy road and they're looking out over and they didn't know to expect that. That is a great metaphor for any kind of outdoor hospitality business because there's such a complex array of responsibilities involved. If you're starting like with a development, you've got permitting and site planning, and then you have to choose the accommodations and oh, they better be unique, but can I afford it? And do I squeeze them in or do I, then decks and then customer service, and then oop, we forgot that this isn't allowed, and now we have to go back to the town, the city or whatever, and have another meeting, and it just goes on and on and on and on, right? How do we know everything? Do you think it's even possible?
I hope not. I think that what attracts me to this business is the unpredictability of it.
Yeah.
I can think back to another time that I was managing a glamping business. It was in Texas, and it was cold. So this is actually yeah, this was it. And I was from reception through to cleanup, but booking was from somebody else. And so I
Okay.
was told one day, you can meet Sarah at the gate at this time. And we also lived somewhere that was far out of Verizon's signal. So often guests would show up frustrated because their maps would have stopped working or they wouldn't have been able to get in touch. But this one guest showed up particularly frustrated, and I had no idea why she was so frustrated. And wildly underprepared for what the space was. And because it was surprisingly cold, and come to find out later through my partner who was managing the bookings, it was a heartbroken mother who had been planning to
Oh,
go. It was, and yeah, and in hindsight, it all made sense. I didn't learn this until after the booking, but she had booked the space for her and her daughter who was in college in Austin, and they were all excited. And I guess at the last minute, her daughter pulled out and said, "I want to go party with my friends instead." So it was this
oh,
poor mom that showed up with who was going to go glamping for the first time, completely out of her element, and with weathers that we did with weather that we did not expect. And so I was sitting there at the gate expecting a certain type of guest, and the kind of guest that shows up is there's no telling who's going to walk through your door and what they'll need.
yeah,
And so it turned into we did not offer complimentary firewood. We did not offer any of that. We did not offer assistance in building fires, but it became my job to gather some firewood and build a fire, and something that you could have never expected. So I think you can
yeah.
calculate for everything, but you can't calculate for the kind of needs that you really find in guests in this industry.
I love that you said that because I think the whole essence of what we're about is the heart of hospitality, right? And I think most people get into this space with that heart. Even the big real estate investment trusts, the people that are just investing in everything. When I've met with some of those people, COOs, and I mean, it's a big corporate thing, right? Everybody's got their position. But for the most part, they really do have a heart for that, and they've had some experience that they bring that to the table, which is the beauty of this industry. And really, that I think that's what attracts so many of us. And so when we come together, like we go to these conferences, Ojai and all these ones that are coming up, we have that opportunity to gather around and talk to people, but often you don't have the intimate conversations. So what we're doing tomorrow, which is a part of why I wanted to go live about this idea today, actually for the next few Thursdays, with the exception of Thanksgiving, we're going to do a roundtable that Evolve Lodging is hosting, and we're just inviting everybody to show up for this. You have to register. It's like a webinar, but it's simply an opportunity to be around other people that have been to the conferences, people who haven't. We can talk about what the key takeaways were for everyone, what people are thinking is going to happen in 2025, what they're projecting, what's important, what worked this year. Like thinking about being around all those people, because I know we didn't go to Ojai this year. What would come up for you? Like what kind of value do you see in meeting with everyone?
I think especially from the Ojai community, in terms of what do we expect and what do we not expect. There's traditional knowledge, there's traditional rules, but I think nothing tells us as much as this season's data. And I think that we're
That's
coming
right.
off of the busy season, and I think collecting that data, collecting those insights, processing them, and turning them into action items for next season, I think that's the thing I'm most excited about. Is I think we're reaching out to so many of these different park owners and trying to get a hold of them these past few months has been crazy, because there's always a fire to put out. There's always some sad, wounded mama showing
Yeah,
up somewhere
that's
who
right.
needs the fire built. And so you calling them and saying, hey, trying to check in on them and their businesses, they're busy addressing their guests. And so I think learning what just happened, what did we learn this past season? Because every season's new, and I think that the best indicator we have for next season is the most recent one. So I can't wait
Yeah.
to connect with those business owners.
Yeah, I love that. That's exactly everything you said. Ditto, ditto, ditto. Because the insights that we each take away from our season, you can't put that in a spreadsheet. The only way you learn about what you don't know that you don't know is from talking with other colleagues and industry professionals. So that is the whole point of this tomorrow. I hope everyone can join us. It's at 10 o'clock Mountain Standard Time, and I'll put the link in the comments below. We certainly, excuse me, I'm so sorry. We have learned so much this year in talking with all of you. And it's been a crazy year. I mean, the election and all this stuff, it's been crazy. So now we have our eye on what is coming in the future. And that's where we really want to focus, and we can all support each other and learn from each other. So it's just a very warm, hospitable invitation to all of you to join us. And if anyone heard me cursing at the beginning of this, I apologize, but I tried to go live like 6 times today. And I think when I finally went live, I might have been saying things that should not be said on LinkedIn. So, so pray for me. Yeah.
That's how you have to see how the sausage gets made. And I think yeah, I'm really looking forward to tomorrow and really looking forward to connecting with everybody. This is yeah, those are my favorite calls.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome.
Can't wait.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Charlie. You guys,
Thank you,
everyone
Michelle.
have a beautiful, wonderful day. And yeah, go outside. That's my advice. Go
You.
outside, be in the sun if you have it, and walk your talk. You know, this whole thing about uplifting other people, that's what we do in hospitality. And it's not always easy to do that. So, got to take care of yourself first. And that means get outside. Love you all. Bye.
Bye. Thanks.